You know, it's kind of amazing how I got my start in that I really had thought about going into law enforcement. And my uncle, who was a teacher at the high school where I went, stopped me on the quad one morning and with the morning flyer and said, "Hey, look, the county's given a test for seasonal firefighter." He said, "I did that one summer during the war." He said, "It might be something you might be interested in." So, okay, so I signed up and took the test with like 2,500 other people, and got the job. And, after the first summer, it was all right. But the next year, I got an opportunity to go back. And I tell people, my first fire, we were all gung-ho, and it came right after lunch. And we had this fire in the oak woodlands and running in the grass. And I, on my third trip back down to get another, back then we didn't have hose packs. We used double donut hose rolls. And we were carrying 2 at a time. And I got back down to the road where the engine was and went over to the side of the road and threw up my lunch, and went back and come down the next time, and I was just out of breath and totally wore out. And the old crusty engineer was standing there chewing on his cigar, and he said, "Son, you don't have to run." So it was kind of that aha moment. And then I always told people after that, it gets in your blood. Something about the fire service and something about firefighting. I guess early on I was an adrenaline junkie, and I just really enjoyed the camaraderie. I enjoyed the challenge of, I could never imagine going to work in a factory and putting right front fenders on Fords every day, for 30 years. To do that, I always enjoyed the challenge of learning something new, taking on a new task, working with really great people. I had some mentors that showed me how not to do the business, because we all serve as an example, either a good one or a bad one, or a mediocre one. But just that whole challenge of learning and getting into something new. And every time the alarm went off, every time you got a call to go somewhere, it was like, oh, we're going on another grass fire. Well, it was never just another grass fire, another brush fire. It was never another timber fire. It was never another structure fire. It was all about what was next and how could I take the skills that I had learned and apply them to do the job we were asked to do. And it really turned into be, somewhat of that adrenaline junkie. And